Despite a lull along the front after the Scheldt battles, the German situation remained dire. While operations continued in the autumn, notably the Lorraine campaign, the Battle of Aachen, and fighting in the Ardennes Forest, the strategic situation in the west had changed little. The Allies were slowly pushing towards Germany, but no breakthrough was achieved. There were 96 Allied divisions at or near the front. With an estimated 10 more divisions on the way from the United Kingdom. Additional Allied airborne units remained in England. The Germans could field a total of 55 understrength divisions. Adolf Hitler first outlined his planned counteroffensive to his generals on September 16, 1944. The goal was to pierce the thinly held lines of the U.S. First Army between Monschau and Wasserbillig with General Feldmarschall Walter Model's Army Group B by the end of the first day, get the armor through the Ardennes by the end of the second day, reach the Meuse by the third day, and seize Antwerp and the western bank of the Scheldt estuary by the fourth day. Hitler initially promised his generals a total of 18 infantry and 12 armored or mechanized divisions, for planning purposes. The plan was to pull 13 infantry divisions, 2 parachute divisions and 6 armored divisions from the Oberkommando der Wehrmacht Strategic Reserve. On the Eastern Front, the Soviets' Operation Bag Ration during the summer had destroyed much of Germany's Army Group Center. By November, it was clear that Soviet forces were preparing for a winter offensive. The Allied air offensive of early 1944 had grounded the Luftwaffe, leaving the German army with little battlefield intelligence and no way to interdict Allied supplies. The converse was equally damaging. Daytime movement of German forces was rapidly noticed. And attacks on supplies combined with the bombing of the Romanian oil field starved Germany of oil and gasoline. This fuel shortage intensified after the Soviets overran those fields in the course of their second Jassy-Kishinev offensive in August 1944. One of the few advantages held by the German forces in November 1944 was that they were no longer defending all of Western Europe. Their front lines in the west had been considerably shortened by the Allied offensive and were much closer to the German heartland. This drastically reduced their supply problems despite Allied control of the air. The extensive telephone and telegraph network meant that radios were no longer necessary for communications, which lessened the effectiveness of Allied ultra-intercepts. Some 40 to 50 messages per day were decrypted by ultra. They recorded the quadrupling of German fighter forces, and a term used in an intercepted Luftwaffe message implied preparation for an offensive operation. Ultra also picked up communiques regarding extensive rail and road movements in the region. Hitler felt that his mobile reserves allowed him to mount one offensive. Although he realized nothing significant could be accomplished in the Eastern Front. He still believed an offensive against the Western Allies, whom he considered militarily inferior to the Red Army, would have some chances of success. Hitler's plan called for a blitzkrieg attack through the weakly defended Ardennes, mirroring the successful German offensive there during the Battle of France in 1940, and aimed at splitting the armies along the US-British lines. And capturing Antwerp. The plan banked on unfavorable weather, including thick fog and low-lying clouds, which would minimize the Allied air advantage. Hitler originally set the offensive for late November, before the anticipated start of the Soviet Vistula-Oder offensive. The disputes between Montgomery and Bradley were well known, and Hitler hoped he could exploit this disunity. If the attack were to succeed in capturing Antwerp, four armies would be trapped without supplies behind German lines. Model, commander of German Army Group B, and von Rundstedt, overall commander of the German Army Command in the West, were put in charge of carrying out the operation. The positions of the Allied armies stretched from southern France all the way north to the Netherlands. German planning for the counteroffensive rested on the premise that an attack against thinly manned stretches of the line would halt Allied advances on the Western Front. Four armies were selected for the operation. Adolf Hitler personally selected for the counteroffensive on the northern shoulder of the Western Front the best troops available and officers he trusted. The lead role in the attack was given to the 6th Panzer Army, commanded by SS Obergruppenführer Sepp Dietrich. It included the most experienced formation of the Waffen-SS, the 1st SS Panzer Division Leibstandard SS Adolf Hitler. It also contained the 12th SS Panzer Division Hitlerjugend. They were given priority for supply and equipment and assigned the shortest route to the primary objective of the offensive, Antwerp, starting from the northernmost point on the intended battlefront, nearest the important road network hub of Monschau. The 5th Panzer Army under General Otto von Manschufel was assigned to the middle sector with the objective of capturing Brussels. The 7th Army, under General Erich Brandenberger, was assigned to the southernmost sector, near the Luxembourgish city of Echternach, with the task of protecting the flank. This army was made up of only 4 infantry divisions, with no large-scale armored formations to use as a spearhead unit. As a result, they made little progress throughout the battle. On December 16, 1944 at 5:30, the Germans began the assault with a massive 90-minute artillery barrage, using 1,600 artillery pieces across a 80 miles front on the Allied troops. The Americans' initial impression was that this was the anticipated localized counterattack resulting from the Allies' recent attack in the Wallerscheid sector to the north. Where the 2nd Division had knocked a sizable dent in the Siegfried Line. In the center, von Mantschufel's 5th Panzer Army attacked towards Bastogne and St.Vith, both road junctions of great strategic importance. In the south, Brandenberger's 7th Army pushed towards Luxembourg in its efforts to secure the flank from Allied attacks. By December 17, 1944, German forces under Colonel Joachim Paper seized a U.S. fuel depot in Boulingen, Belgium. Containing about 50,000 gallons of gasoline, a major war prize. While the Siege of Bastogne is often credited as the central point where the German offensive was stopped, the battle for Elsenborn Ridge was actually the decisive component of the Battle of the Bulge. Untested troops of the 99th Infantry Division prevented the best-equipped armored units of the German army from advancing and forced them to reroute their troops to unfavorable alternative routes that considerably slowed their advance. The attack on Monschau, Hofen, Krinkel-Trachereff, and then Elsenborn Ridge was led by the units personally selected by Adolf Hitler. The 6th Panzer Army was given priority for supply and equipment and was assigned the shortest route to the ultimate objective of the offensive, Antwerp. The 6th Panzer Army included the elite of the Waffen-SS, including 4 panzer divisions and 5 infantry divisions in 3 corps. SS Obersturmbannführer Joachim Paper led Kampfgruppe Paper. Consisting of 4,800 men and 600 vehicles. And the Germans only had enough fuel for an estimated 90 to 100 miles, 140 to 160 kilometers, of travel, not nearly enough to reach Antwerp. The attacks by the 6th Panzer Army's infantry units in the north fared badly because of unexpectedly fierce resistance by the U.S. 2nd and 99th Infantry Divisions.